again, guys. So I'm gonna do just our reading together. Sorry about that. I want to do our next story. So, and you're on the bright side, page 60. Page 60. And it's an interesting title, The Golden Windows. Well, it's easy to look at others and wish you had what they have. The boy in this story sees a house in the distance, and man, he's just kind of a little bit jealous because that house just seems so much better than his. But he's going to discover something in the story that's going to surprise him. And many times when we're wishing we had what somebody else had, the reality is just what we're going to see in this story. We think that somebody has something so much better. We think that their lives are so much easier. We wish we had all the toys that so-and-so had. But there's things that are often hidden that are not really seen or known. And you'll find out about that as we read through our story, The Golden Windows. So I also thought, what I think we're going to do is I'm going to do probably the reading with you because I love reading these stories with you. And then assign like A Secret in the Maple Tree as your homework for you to read silently. So I'll give you like specific pages today, because it just came to my mind because it takes me a while sometimes, but I'm getting there thinking. So that's, I think, what I'm going to do. So anyway, but The Golden Windows by Laura E. Richards. Once a little boy lived on a small farm in the hills. All day long, the little boy worked hard in field and barn and shed, for his people were poor farmers and could not pay a workman. At sunset, there came an hour that was all his own, for his father had given it to him. Then the boy would go up to the top of a hill and look across at another hill that rose some miles away. On this far hill stood a house with windows of clear gold and diamonds. They shone and blazed so that it made the boy wink to look at them. But after a while, the people in the house put up shutters, as it seemed, and then it looked like any common farmhouse. The boy supposed they did this because it was supper time. Then he would go into the house and have his supper of bread and milk and go to bed. One day the boy's father called him and said, "You have been a good boy and have earned a holiday. Take this day for your own, but remember that God gave it, and try to learn some good thing." The boy thanked his father and kissed his mother. Then he put a piece of bread in his pocket and started off to find the house with the golden windows. It was pleasant walking. His bare feet made marks in the white dust, and when he looked back, the footprints seemed to be following him and making company for him. His shadow, too, kept beside him and would dance or run with him as he pleased, so it was very cheerful. By and by he felt hungry, and he sat down by a brown brook that ran through the hedge by the roadside and ate his bread and drank the clear water. Then he scattered the crumbs for the birds, as his mother had taught him to do, and went on his way. After a long time, he came to a high green hill. When he had climbed the hill, there was the house on the top, but it seemed that the shutters were up, for he could not see the golden windows. He came up to the house, and then he could well have wept. The windows were of clear glass like any others, and there was no gold anywhere about them. A woman came to the door and looked kindly at the boy and asked him what he wanted. "I saw the golden windows from our hilltop," he said, "and I came to see them, but now they are only glass." The woman shook her head and laughed. "We are poor farming people," she said, "and are not likely to have gold about our windows, but glass is better to see through." She bade the boy sit down on the broad stone step at the door and brought him a cup of milk and a cake and bade him rest. Then she called her daughter, a child of his own age, and nodded kindly at the two and went back to her work. The little girl was barefooted like himself and wore a purple cotton gown. Her hair was golden like the windows he had seen, and her eyes were blue like the sky at noon. She had the boy She led the boy about the farm and showed him her black calf with a white star on its forehead. And he told her about his own at home, which was red like a chestnut with 4 white feet. Then, when they had eaten an apple together and so had become friends, the boy asked her about the golden windows. The little girl nodded and said she knew all about them, only he had mistaken the house. You have come quite the wrong way, she said. Come with me and I will show you the house with the golden windows, and then you will see for yourself. They went to a hill that rose behind the farmhouse, and as they went, the little girl told him that the golden windows could only be seen at a certain hour, about sunset. Yes, I know that, said the boy. When they reached the top of the hill, the girl turned and pointed. There on a hill far away stood a house with windows of clear gold and diamond, just as he had seen them. And when they looked again, see what it says there, Greg? The boy saw that it was his own home. Then he told the little girl that he must go, and he gave her his best pebble, the white one with the red band that he had carried for a year in his pocket. She gave him 3 horse chestnuts, one red like satin, one spotted, and one white like milk. He promised to come again, but he did not tell her what he had learned. What do you think he learned? And by the way, so what did she give him? The 3 horse chestnuts. What did he give her? His best pebble. And when could those windows be seen? These fancy golden windows. Just at sunset. Have you guys figured it out? Did you figure out what's going on? So he didn't tell her what he had learned, but he had learned something. So he went back down the hill, and the little girl stood in the sunset light and watched him. The way home was long, and it was dark before the boy reached his father's house, but the lamplight and firelight shone through the windows, making them almost as bright as he had seen them from the hilltop. When he opened the door, his mother came to kiss him, and his little sister ran to throw her arms about his neck. His father looked up and smiled from his seat by the fire. Have you had a good day? Asked his mother. Yes, the boy had had a very good day. And have you learned anything? Asked his father. Yes, said the boy. I have learned that our house has windows of gold and diamond. So this is such a neat story because he's thinking, oh, I've got to go find this house with gold and diamond windows when it's his house. Which house had golden windows? Right, both of them. When he stood on his hill and looked at her house at sunset, her house had golden windows. And when she looked at his house had golden windows. And what was it that did that? The sun, right? The sun made the windows look golden, that light. What is the moral of this story? So remember, stories have a moral. They have a theme. What is that theme? Things aren't always what they seem, right? They're not always. It seems like somebody else is so much better off than you are, and it's not necessarily true. So we always need to look on the bright side, like our book title. And when we look on the bright side, we can find good things within ourselves, not ourselves, because we're not good within ourselves. God is good with us. But we can find good things within our realm, like in our own home, in our own areas. So instead of looking at others and being jealous about what they have, look at what we have. We have a lot of good things. So page 66, really quickly. God gave us the stars for many reasons. They help light the sky at night. They help us keep track of time. Stars can even guide travelers when they are lost. The author of this next poem can't help but stare at one little star in the sky. The Star by Jane Taylor. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Does that sound familiar? How I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. When the blazing sun is gone, when nothing shines upon, then you show your little light. Twinkle, twinkle, all the night. Then the traveler in the dark thanks you for your tiny spark. He could not see which way to go if you did not twinkle so. In the dark blue sky you keep, and often through my curtains peep. for you never shut your eye till the sun is in the sky. As your bright and tiny spark lights the traveler in the dark, though I know not what you are, twinkle, twinkle, little star. And what a neat poem. So somebody made it into our little song that we sing, Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, but it's a poem. How many stanzas are in this poem? Remember stanzas? It's kind of like verses. Good. There are 5 stanzas in this poem. What is the meaning of the second stanza? What is the meaning? I think some of you got it. So that star only shines when what? When the sun goes down. Once the sun goes down, then that star shines. What is the main idea in the third stanza? Who's thankful? Yes, the traveler, because that star kind of guides him on his way. And in the fourth stanza, where is this author? Where is she? In her room, looking out the window. Very good. So I just wanted to go through that with you. Hope that you got those questions and understood those well. Good job. I'll see you soon.